Yeah. So in case if you're wondering why am I suddenly making this video, um a few days ago the government suddenly announced that they are postponing the DSEs, the ultimate exams, for 4 weeks. Just 1 week before the original date. Just 1 week. So here I am. I am making videos once again. And I don't even know if this is a good news or bad news because my entire schedule is totally ruined. Hey, scammed by the government. What's up? It's the Culture Detective here investigating your favorite albums. And today, I, of course, am going to do an album review on the latest Weeknd album, After Hours. So there has been a lot of hype leading up to the latest Weeknd album because not only are the singles great, but also it's been a while since he had released an album. Last time he had released a full-length LP, it is Starboy in the year 2016, and I love Starboy, the song, the title track. It's cold, it's icy, it's catchy, it's groovy, it is one of my favorite songs of the decade. But the rest of the album isn't really all that impressive in my opinion. Same goes for his previous album. However, I'll say that the song Can't Feel My Face is a total friggin' catchy banger that I like a lot. So, yes, The Weeknd, aka Abel Tesfaye, he is back, R&B singer-songwriter and producer. Please leave me alone. Thank you. Uh, so, Abel Tesfaye, R&B singer-songwriter and producer, he's finally back. And if you've been living under a rock, you may not know him, but he's been making a lot of hits in the past few years. I mean, he had came out with the trilogy mixtape that a lot of his core fans really, really love, but also he had made bigger, more mainstream hits that I also find myself enjoying, but so far none of his records or mixtapes really wow me or impress me. I think they're just okay at best. And then we have After Hours, where it seems like he is reinventing his own music with a new hairstyle, a new musical style, of course, with his music being more drenched in reverb, synthesizers, more 80s throwback style, and I gotta say, it really worked out because, in my opinion, After Hours might be the Weeknd's most solid album so far. And while I don't think it's that great, it did not live up to the hype, in my opinion. I don't think it is the best album of the year so far, but I still find a majority of the songs on this album incredibly enjoyable and very pleasant to listen to. So, starting off, we have the album opener, Alone Again, which is actually a really weak opening for the album. When I first heard this album, I expected something very 80s, very catchy, but the opener, while it sounds 80s, I guess, it doesn't sound all that catchy or structured. The mixing is kind of a mess. The Weeknd's vocals is completely buried in layers of synths. The verses and the choruses are really stale, really stagnant. We got some bold synth hits in the second half of the track, which I really love, but then it completely overshadows Abel's vocals, and I'm just unable to hear his vocals. See what I did there? Boom! And then we have the second track, Too Late, which sounds pretty similar with the album opener in terms of the mixing. It's still pretty buried in the mix, not really all that clear or crisp. The vocals are heavily manipulated and touched up. It's hard to really hear what the Weeknd really sounds like, but I actually kind of enjoy the song as well when it comes to the chord progressions. I actually like the sweet, summery, poppy flavors of the track. I also kind of like the exotic tropical beat. on the track. But overall, I think the bad mixing and the good flavor sort of cancel out each other, and the track overall isn't all that great either. The third track, however, is a huge jump in quality to something better. We have the track Hardest to Love, and finally, we get to hear some amazing, great vocals from Abel. And also, I like the sad and low key vibes of the track. The beat is somewhat oddly structured. It gives off a bit of an IDM vibe, which is really nice. We have the track Scared to Live as well, which is a very dramatic ballad. And while I like the mixing of the track, the fun vocal bits are really nice. I also really like the lyrics of the track where Abel sort of talks to someone in his life where he admits that he had made some damage in that person's life, which shows that Abel is maturing as a person, and that is fantastic. But the chords on this track, they are not that creative, not that innovative. And we also have the track Snow Child, which sounds very within expectations. Lyrically, Abel talks about how much his life had changed since he had made the mixtape trilogy. And I do like the lyrics too, but the verses and the choruses are just really stagnant. They don't really change all that much, not much in terms of dynamic, and the vocal melodies are just somewhat redundant. Similarly, we have the track Escape from LA, which is just okay. It's not a great track though. Majority of the track is this spacey, airy trap, low-key rant. Kind of reminds me of one of those Drake Diary rap songs. The beat is kind of messy, and at the end, Abel sort of talks about how he had sex in the studio, which, I mean, I don't know how to feel about it. Kind of a weird placement in the song and in the lyrics. But, of course, we have the hit song Heartless. Total friggin' highlight, total friggin' banger. I really, really love the song. It's catchy, the hook is incredibly strong, and even though the structure of Heartless is very linear, it's very plain and predictable, nothing all that crazy, but still with the really strong hooks and verses and great vocals by Abel, I think this song is awesome. Also the beat, the pounding beats before the at the end of each verse is a nice touch, I have to say. We also have the track Faith, which is this multifaceted 80s vintage retro groovy track. Majority of the track feels very dreamy and gorgeous and lush, and it's pretty fantastic. But the ending though, oh my gosh, it's so ethereal and dramatic. It's absolutely fantastic. Also, we have lyrics talking about how he is now addicted to his very fast lifestyle. And come to think of it, I am moving to LA this summer, and I'm pretty sure that my lifestyle is going to absolutely change as well, which is both frightening and exciting at the same time. So, anyways, the track Blinding Lights is my absolute favorite, hands down, on the entire album. I friggin' love this song. It's driving, it's engaging, it's extremely catchy. It's a total friggin' banger. The vocals are very, very charismatic. Ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. And the song overall also sounds very futuristic and vintage at the same time. I just love it when songs do that thing where they sound both futuristic and nostalgic at the same time. I think it's just really awesome. We also have the track In Your Eyes, which is a very groovy 80s new wave track with an awesome sax solo, definitely a cherry on the top. We have the track Save Your Tears as well, which is not as high key as the previous two tracks, more low key, of course, but still, it's a very compelling track. I love the very upbeat, pumping synths on the track that keeps the track constantly driving and moving. The Weeknd's very soft and tender vocals just lay on top of those synths really smoothly and nicely. We have an interlude afterwards called Repeat After Me, and it's 3 minutes long. 3 minute long interlude. really, and it's okay. It's actually not that great. The track kind of drags, it's kind of structureless, it's a bit of a mess. But the track afterwards, the title track, After Hours, is another friggin' highlight on the entire album. I love this track as well. The first 2.5 minutes is really low key and it just slowly builds tension and it, it's really nice. It's really nicely done. And then afterwards we get these disco, clubby R&B beats which are really smooth and catchy, especially the one repeating keyboard note, which actually fits into the instrumentals to the track really well. And I also really like the grainy sounds of the track. And the album ending is called Until I Bleed Out. It would have been amazing if the album ended off with After Hours, but this album ending, Until I Bleed Out, it's just okay. It's not that great. It doesn't have a beat, but it's incredibly dramatic. And I guess I enjoy the fact that it's very dramatic, but it just doesn't feel like a very compelling ending in comparison to After Hours. But still, overall, I'm enjoying this album, and I think The Weeknd is getting better and better at songwriting, writing catchy hooks. This album is also really cohesive. It doesn't feel all over the place. However, I think it would be cooler if he would add some more versatility on the album. But still, I think The Weeknd found his sweet spot with the very 80s throwback instrumentals, and now that we're transitioning into the 2020s, I think more 90s inspired music and movies will come out. So, I mean, maybe he's gonna have to, I don't know, change up his style a little bit next time. But that being said, I like this album. My favorite track here is Blinding Lights, and my least favorite is probably Repeat After Me. I am giving The Weeknd's After Hours a strong 7 out of 10. So, have you listened to the latest Weeknd album from 1 to 10? How much did you rate it? Like if you like it, and hate if you hate it, and subscribe if you want more. And thanks for watching. Also, I will be reviewing the latest Childish Gambino album. I will be talking about Code Orange, Rap Ferrera, Machine Girl, Sewer Slut, Thigh Catafalque, uh, maybe Vengeful Spectre, Tennis, and yeah, maybe I'll talk about those albums, maybe. And also a couple more classic album reviews before I stop making videos once again. So yeah, thanks for watching.